Welcome back to Everyday Diesel. Going to be doing assembly of the engine that we pulled out of the race truck. I've been really excited to get this done. A lot of the motivation for continuing to make this a lot nicer is going to come from seeing the engine all finished up on the engine stand. So I'll get to that in a second. Real quick, I want to drop in a clip here from kind of what the engine looked like before, just to give you an idea. I took a video about halfway through the cleaning process before I threw some paint on it. So throwing the clip here right now. Okay, I got the engine sitting in the corner of the shop here. This is the cleaning process. As you can see, I have quite the mess. I'm about half done, probably right at about 50% done with this as far as cleaning it up and getting rid of all the nastiness. I just want to show kind of what I've been dealing with. This is the side I haven't done yet. I've done scraping, and that's what all that is from. But you can still see how nasty it is. Now, we don't care about the tappet cover. We don't care about the valve or the front cover. We don't care about that valve cover. We don't care about the plenum plate here, neither. All that is being replaced. Oil pan, I'm not worried about it. It will either be replaced with an OEM or cleaned up. It still has to come off. So for now, it's being left there. Once the engine is painted, and this is actually on my engine stand, not just sitting on blocks, then that will come off and get handled. So again, this side I haven't taken any wire wheeling to. I've just done like a bunch of scraping and such, and you can see just how nasty it is. Along with just dirt and oil, a lot of the undercoating that the truck has is also on this engine, and just the heat cycles just made it nasty, super nasty. So got a lot of cleaning up to do. Cleaned up the bell housing quite a bit, cleaned up around this intake shelf, and the head is as clean as it's gonna get as far as rust removal and all that goes. I'm using some good paints, so I'm gonna make sure it's clean. Not everything has to be shiny like that. Bought this cool little plug kit on Amazon to plug threaded holes and such. This side is pretty much ready to go. Let me get down here. You can see, especially around like the oil pan bolts, it's nice and clean. I've gotten most of any old paint and crap off the block. Important things are masked off. I still need to take these two fittings out and plug them. And this is, of course, the old oil filter, so I'm just going to leave it on so it can get overspray on it because it'll be changed. We should be able to make it look really good like this. So just want to do a little update here. Not going to do any time lapses of cleaning or anything like that. Once we start painting and then, of course, assembling with all the new parts and cool stuff I've gotten for this, that's what we will move forward with. So, redneck paint booth in the shop. Good old 10x10 tent with some cheesecloth. Just laid the first coat of primer. Yes, I had the door open when I was spraying. Let me turn this off. So, I'm doing 3 coats of primer. So I just didn't focus too hard on coverage as far as every nook and cranny, because we got 2 more coats to go. So far so good. Nothing really fascinating to see here, but good start to the paint project. Now let me walk over here, show you what this engine looks like now after I got it painted, and get ready to throw some parts on it today. Here's what it looks like. Turned out really good. It's my first time ever painting an engine. Kind of hard to see on an iPhone, but pretty shiny, which is what I was going for. It's gonna really look good with all the billet parts that we got to throw on this thing. What we're gonna get at today, or in the first part of this video, is some front cover stuff. So in this box, I got a beautiful King Speed billet front cover. Cummins front main seal. This truck, or this engine, never had the killer dowel pin addressed. It's hard to see, but it's in there. So right in here is a dowel pin. If you're not familiar with this, 12 and 24 valve, 6 BTs. There's a dowel pin in here that can rattle out. And when it does, it basically pinches itself in between your injection pump gear and your cam gear, and your engine's toast. I think in almost every case, if not 100% of every cases, you know, the gear is going to withstand the part, but the block won't. So it'll either crack the case, it'll crack the block around the cam bearings, Just destroys everything. Pull this bolt out, which looks like to be a Torx, and you replace it with something like this. This is a industrial injection mix. This I just found it on, I think, Pure Diesel Power. Got a new Cummins gasket for the VP44. I went ahead and got a new lock washer for the injection pump gear nut. Just some miscellaneous stuff too. This is a fitting for the oil line that goes to the vacuum pump. This is a upgraded driven diesel vacuum pump. Just a nice stainless braided, a little bit better quality than OEM even. And mine was nasty, so it needed replaced anyway. So a new one of those. This is a little plastic cover that I broke getting out. It goes right there. Billet rear freeze plug, billet front freeze plug. We're gonna knock that one out and put it right there. Billet cover for the factory. Oh, what am I doing? Billet cover here for the factory dealio there. These are nice because they're O-ringed. You don't have to silicone them. All this is from Keating. And then lastly, we got a Tappet cover. I got a Beans Diesel Billet Tappet cover. That thing's also pretty sick. So that's what we're gonna get to right now. We got a lot more stuff we're gonna do. We're gonna do a new OEM water pump. We're gonna do a new OEM vacuum pump. We're gonna do a new power steering reservoir. We're gonna do, still gotta pull the oil pan off, clean it, possibly replace it. We have all stainless fasteners for the oil pan. We have all stainless fasteners for everything in the front here. We have stainless fasteners to go in for the oil filter housing. We have new side freeze plugs coming. Of course, we'll throw the Steed Speed on there with fleece studs. I got some parts that are being powder coated red, the thermostat housing, the alternator bracket. Okay, so let's knock out this killer dowel pin real quick. Just gonna wipe this crap down. This is a T40. Careful not to screw it up. Oh, not tight at all. Not sure what the torque spec is on this, but you just tighten it and don't get carried away. You'll be fine. 6mm Allen for the new bolt provided by Industrial. So again, this is what this looks like. It's just a little tab and a new bolt that's just a little bit longer to go in there and cover up that dowel, preventing it from coming out. And again, like I said, you don't need to put a torque wrench on it per se, but just like that. And just like that, we're done. Diesel billet Tappet cover installed. With this, we're going to have two -12 ports on the side of here, and there's baffles inside of that piece as well. That'll be really good for getting rid of crankcase pressure. I'll be getting fittings for that and running those either probably to a catch can since this engine is old. And yeah, looks pretty sick. Just need to clean my fingerprints off of it. All right, I'm gonna give this freeze plug a little tappy tap to get it out here. Moving a little bit. What you want it to do is pivot in that hole, and then you can grab it and there we go. Aha. Voila, just like that. Put a little bit of Sil Glide on the O-ring. Go ahead and send her on in there. And that went in perfectly. Pop. Now that's done. Looks pretty good. Same thing on this rear freeze plug. Easy as that. Got a really nice looking Keating, oh, upside down. Comes with this port. If you ever wanted to run like a coolant bypass into here, I run my coolant bypass right there. So I've already put the plug in, and it's got some thread sealant on it. So it should be good to go. Why is that not wanting to thread in? All right, these holes are being a little stubborn, so I got a tap and a little bit of lubricant. I'm gonna see if I can't free up these holes a little bit here. All right, now we're good to go. Look at that. And that's done. Looks sharp. Okay, a little issue I'm running into putting the VP44 back on after doing the Bean Machine Billet Tappet cover. Something I found out just by getting this far, this bracket right here, if you can look right there, it hits the Tappet cover, causing you to not be able to line up the VP44. All right, so here's where we're at. No bracket on the no rear bracket on the VP44. Got the front gear on. New lock washer. Torque this to 125 foot-pounds. Easy peasy. Front cover won't go on quite yet. So yeah, come along pretty good. I've done a few things off camera, so I just wanted to do a little catching up here real quick before we throw the front cover on, because we're ready to do that now. Got this side piece here cleaned up and painted. I'm not exactly sure what the exact term is for it, but basically it's the bracket that bolts to the side of the block for your lower radiator hose. Also your tensioner mounts to it. Also the alternator mounts to it. Also your AC compressor would mount right here. Of course mine's gone. So got that on there and done. This is just on here loose. This was just for fun. I bought a kit. I forget exactly from where. Just some nice stainless hardware for the oil filter housing. Also bought some nice stuff for here. I'm going to kind of go around the whole engine and replace it with some chrome and stainless fasteners, just to spice it up just even a little bit more, of course. Let's see, new oil filter. Got these fittings in. Manifold's ready to go on. Waiting for these freeze plugs to come in the mail. Thermostat housing and the alternator bracket are both at powder coat. I should pick them up in a couple days. And yeah, we're ready to get this badass King Speed billet front cover installed. I got the front main seal perfectly installed there. So that worked out great. Well, there you have it. Kind of a pain in the butt, but it's on there. Front main perfectly installed. Looks pretty good. I want to throw this clip in here that I ended up modifying this rear bracket for the VP44 to go ahead and get that extra support on the VP44. So it'll go, there's a bolt that goes right there, and then these two bolts that go into that bracket right there. So basically you just got to cut that whole corner and one mounting hole, which was right here where my tip of my finger is, off, because the Beans Diesel Tappet cover requires that. They say that you can trim that, and there was no way. I even trimmed a portion of the, I'll show you here. I even trimmed up the bolt a bunch. It's not going to focus probably. Trimmed up the bolt a little bit. It looks like shit because I was, trying different ways, but I didn't want to take any more depth off of it because it's a Torx, and well, you need to be able to tighten it. So this is the obvious solution. Just cutting one whole mounting point off of it. having the one instead of the two will be more than none. So that's how I look at it. That's what I'm gonna do. It fits now. As far as that Tappet cover goes, it's awesome. It's probably one of the better looking ones. I love the vent ports, and the machining looks great. And Beans has been around for a very long time, but I don't know why they don't cut a better relief. Actually, you can see I've scratched the shit out of it just trying to make it work. So good thing you can't see it, but still annoying as hell. So. One more thing that I need to do is intake plenum. So, me being me, I could not go back with the factory intake plenum on this engine. You know we had to get a billet unit. So the guys over at DDP Motorsports are working with me again. I've already worked with them once on the billet actuator for the stock turbo on this truck. Well, modified stock turbo, but you get it. Clayton over there and his wife, they own DDP Motorsports. Awesome company. I'm going to have a link in the description to their website. And pretty much they sell anything you can need for your diesel truck, Cummins, Power Stroke, or Duramax, plus other stuff, suspension, engine stuff, all, you know, all the things. Well, anyways, DDP Motorsports actually owns GDP Diesel, or however you want to say it. They own GDP. So that being said, if you're familiar with these intake horns, the grid here deletes for 6.7s, and a bunch of other parts, that is where those came from, and DDP Diesel now owns GDP. You can see here, they hooked me up with a pretty badass banner that's going to go up on the wall, or on the ceiling somewhere here. Well, anyways, I reached out to them because GDP makes a pretty badass intake plenum for the, I believe it's 98, well, I think they make them for all the 12 and 24 valves. This one in particular is just for VP trucks. It's made specifically for a VP engine. So here it is right here. In my opinion, it is easily the best looking billet intake plenum for a VP engine. There's several out there in the market that you can get. I think Banks makes one, a couple others make one. This is easily one of the better looking ones. I've already hit it with a little bit of my own polish just to do it up a little better. So obviously billet. Obviously, it's cut for optimal airflow, all that good stuff. Most people know that a stock intake horn on, well, a 6.7 or a 5.9 will support easily 6, 7, 800 horsepower with relatively no change. It's also known that if you can increase flow in any way, that's not a bad thing, ever. And then if you can look good doing it, then that's what I'm here for. So DDP makes this, DDP and GDP make this really nice, okay? So you get the intake plenum. They have this plate here that goes here. They also make a kit to where you can use your factory grid heater if you're going to keep your factory grid heater, and they supply you with the extra long studs and nuts for that. They give you only Cummins genuine gaskets, okay, which is nice. Real nice instructions on everything here. Here's where you can kind of see their options and whatnot. So anyways, good stuff. Huge shout out to DDP for hooking me up with this. Clayton, thank you very much. We're going to get this on the truck now and see what it looks like. I know it's going to look killer. It's going to match all the other billet goodiness as well. I already had a pusher diesel intake horn, this is stainless, TIG welded stainless. It's very heavy. This isn't your cheap aluminized or aluminum, you know, mild steel intake horns. This is good stuff. Now I got my fingerprints all over it, but I'm going to get that on there. And this engine's visually is going to be pretty much ready to go. Okay, got that on and went ahead and threw the intake horn on too, just for giggles and shits, and badass. So definitely the look I was going for. New bolts too. Easily the cleanest, best looking billet intake plenum on the market. So definitely had to have it. It's going to accent everything nicely when you pop the hood and look at this thing. And it's just going to work good too. So, all right. We're getting pretty close to being done. All I got to do is oil pan. And so yeah, oil pan, and it's going to get a brand new vacuum pump and then a brand new power steering pump as well. New valve cover gaskets coming. It's in the mail. And then, guys, that's it. This thing will be done. It'll be ready to go back in. All right, we're nearing the end here, getting all this stuff put together. Couple little finishing touches. I just picked these up from actually getting them powder coated. Before I just had them rattle canned. Got them powder coated to match closer to this valve cover that we got. So thermostat housing as well as the alternator bracket. Got them cleaned up and actually powder coated rather than being rattle canned. So this is going to look a lot better. I'm going to throw these on now. Just like that, the engine's all put back together and pretty much ready to go. So, didn't film every little last thing that we buttoned up, but we got the oil pan on, all new hardware for the oil pan gasket. Threw on the balancer, it's just a stock balancer, alternator, new belt. This is just a belt that I seen someone else running this setup. I asked them what they ran, that they gave me a part number. It was as simple as that. Comment below if you're interested in a belt that doesn't use the AC compressor and also doesn't use the fan pulley as well. So this is the belt you need if you get rid of those two things. So basically, to end out this video, what did we do here? I'm not gonna call this a build. It's definitely not a build. We didn't touch any of the rotating assembly or the head or anything like that. This was a reseal, a clean, and make it shiny project. We resealed the front cover, new front main seal. It's also getting a new rear main seal. So both of those high priority seals will be brand new. New oil pan gasket, new oil pickup tube gasket, new intake plenum gaskets, new valve cover gasket. We got new equipment on the side here, vacuum pump and power steering pump, and all the seals and O-rings and gaskets that go along with that. New lock washer on the VP44, new seal on the VP44. Pretty much just sealed this thing up, trying to prevent it from having any oil leaks. This thing leaked, you know, it would drip ever so often, but it leaked from everything, you know, just a slight leak, just like every other second-gen Dodge leaks. They all leak at this point. So got rid of all those. New gaskets for all the water, coolant related stuff, brand new thermostat, and of course paint, you know. One last thing I do need to get on there is the injection lines. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint my stock ones or just get new ones. Leaning towards painting the stock ones because new ones from Scheid are like $600, and I just don't think that's necessary on something like this. I've spent enough. So shout out to a couple people that have helped on this. Glacier Diesel, DDP Motorsports, huge on the intake plenum. I'll have a link in the description for the majority of this stuff. Not the little odds and ends. You know, a lot of it I got off of Rock Auto or Pure Diesel Power for some of the replacement parts. But I'll put links for all the Keating stuff, the King Speed stuff, the DDP Motorsports stuff, you know, stuff that you may be interested in purchasing for your engine. So that's it for this one. We got our work cut out for us on the second gen here. I'm in the middle of starting the, I think we're getting ready to actually put this on a trailer soon and take it to get sandblasted or dry ice blasted. We're going to clean all this stuff up. Clean everything up back there. We got the bed off. Working on getting some new body parts just because they're too far gone with just how filthy they are, and a little bit of rust too. So we're gonna get a new fender, new core support, new body mounts, stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed the time lapses, I guess, on the engine, and we'll see you in the next one.